Lights, camera, action! Hello, what's up? My name is Vincent Rose, and today we are talking about something that's a huge deal to me, what has haunted my life for so many years. But first, today's video is not sponsored by Venom, Apple and Strawberry. But, in all seriousness, it is a serious video, I guess you could say. But today we are talking about borderline personality disorder. So, today's just an intro, just to talk about the basics of it, because I'm still fairly new to it. I got diagnosed, I think it was last July 14th of 2017. So I want to describe it to you guys, kind of give you guys an outline of it, and whatnot. So, if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading some notes. It's like Abessa doesn't remember everything. But, one of the ways for me, borderline personality is basically, everybody has emotions. But for me, everything that most people worry about, it'd be 10 times for me. And I overthought it. So let's say you're in an argument with your significant other. You probably know that he or she's going to wake up tomorrow morning and you guys are going to be just fine. But for me, if we argue over something so simple, like who's paying for dinner, and we get in an argument, I think that friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever your case may be, is going to leave me forever. That's not true. So that's like one of the things that I always noticed my whole entire life is like I am an emotional person. If you know me, I'm an emotional, very emotional person. I'm not scared to cry. I'm not scared to, the only thing I don't really get is mad. You'll see me excited, you'll see me upset, you'll see me cry, you'll see me not talk, you'll see me quiet. So I don't hide my emotions very much anymore, like I used to. But yeah, so how did I find out this? So when I was 16 is when I started feeling emotions and stuff. But I think it's because, I was a 16-year-old teenager. I was confused on life and everything, just like as we all are. And then 18, I just felt so depressed. I kind of had anxiety, but I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know the word for it. I just, I always felt that way, particularly. So, I started drinking. I took some diet pills, got in the hospital. Just a bunch of stuff that most people don't do. And when you do, it's because you know what's wrong with you. I didn't know what's wrong with me. So, one time I took, I think it's some pills. I took a bunch of pills. Is this when I found out? I'm sorry, guys. Basically, I had a friend. She and I wanted to help her with counseling, so I took her to a counselor, and I kind of just put myself on the back burner because I was in that porn at the time to myself. And while she told me, you're giving me this help, why don't you talk to one, just get things off your chest. So I did, and I told her I've tried killing myself before. I've tried, it's lost self-harm. I drank here and there. I don't know my place in this world. Just a bunch of stuff like that. And she diagnosed me, and I described her thing. She diagnosed me with bipolar depression. And if you look it up, it's the symptoms are very, very broad, I guess is the word. Kind of everybody, not everybody, but if you have depression, you pretty much all have those. And depression is not common. It is common, but the symptoms she diagnosed me with, pretty much you can fit it to anybody. So I thought, So I thought for 10 years, that's what's wrong with me. She gave me antidepressant pills. And then when I joined the Army, you can't join the Army if you have depression and anxiety. So I stopped taking them a year prior before enrolling in the service. And I always thought, I'm good. I'm happy. And the reason I was happy is because I had somebody in my life. So when I had somebody in my life, things always weren't very smooth. So it's because of, we'll get into that. So I joined the Army, it's 2 years, 3 years down the road. I started drinking heavily, which you guys all know. They sent me to rehab up in Fort Lewis McChord, Washington. And the first thing you do, well, not the first thing, you talk in groups all day long. So you talk, and there's about 10, we'll say 10 providers there. And they all start taking notes on me. And then I think it was the third week I was there, because it's 4 weeks. The third week I was there, I did a biography. Is that the right word? I hope. And telling pretty much from ages 0 to 5, 5 to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to now. Now I'm 28 years old. So I did that, and Dr. O is her name, and she pretty much, was saying, you just seem like you don't have boundaries. It seems like you're scared of rejection. You're have a fear of abandonment. I was like, oh yeah, I guess. I know what she's saying. So then, after that, about 2-3 days later, my actual provider came to me and said, I want you to do this personality test. We're gonna see what's going on. So I did a personality test. It's like 400 questions, and then she asked me some more questions. So we did that, and then a day later, I think it was 2 days later, she said, yeah, your personality test, we really couldn't nail the head, what's it called? Hit the nail on the head with the test. But, looking over your notes over the past 3 weeks, talking to you after hearing your story, it sounds like you have BPD. I have cancer? That's why I thought she, I was like, what the heck? So yeah, she said, no, it's called borderline personality disorder. Obviously I was just like sitting there like this when she was talking, because I didn't know what she meant. I was so confused. And then she starts saying a few topics like, the symptoms of somebody with borderline personality disorder. So like, okay, I started listening. And then right as she stopped talking, I went straight to my phone and started searching things. Borderline personality. I started, YouTube, of course. Why is that blinking? Am I still recording? Hold on. Oh yeah. Sorry. So yeah, I started YouTubing, and first I went to WebMD, and then I looked at the symptoms, which are a shaky sense of identity, silent violent outbursts, oversensitive to real or imagined rejection, brief turbulent love affairs, frequent periods of intense depression, eating disorders, drug abuse, and other self-destructive tendencies, irrational fear of abandonment, and an inability to be alone. For years, BPD was, I'm reading off a book. For years, BPD was difficult to describe, which is so very true. It's hard to describe, diagnose, and treat. So, that was what my counselor said too, is like a lot of counselors and providers, if I go to a new counselor today, for example, and I tell my BPD, they might not even want to treat me because it is so confusing, it's so broad. There's some things that, I have BPD, and the person next to me has BPD, things are completely different. So a lot of counselors don't like to treat us, which is el crapo. But yeah, so questions I was asked and questions I asked myself over the years. Like I was telling you, I didn't understand why things bothered me so much, or why I was confused about life. And I always thought, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So, it's depression, and well, come find out it's borderline personality disorder. So, I told my friends, they did their own research on it. They said, yeah, that's the nail on the head. Another friend just took it too far, and he thought everything I did was because of my BPD. Some of it was, some of it wasn't, but that's another subject, another video. So they took us to a bookstore every Sunday. I laughed when I saw this. You guys might too, I don't know. Borderline Personality for Dummies. And I was like, no freaking way, this is crazy. So I picked up this book, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't read that much, because every time I read these books, it's hard for me to read it, because every time I read it, it's just like it hits the nail on the head so hard. It's just like, damn, that's me. So I kind of get emotional when I read these, because it's just like, for me, when I have problems, I want to just kind of take care of it and move on, or not think about it at all. So like when I read these books, and I also have another book, I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. If you have BPD, you have to read this at least 10 times. So this is very, very important. Buy this book before anything. I got this on Amazon used. It was like $5. I'm not even sure. Total worth it. Yeah, brand new is $7. This was used, I think it was $4. I don't even know. I didn't care. I bought it. My counselor subscribed it to me. Best thing ever. And if you are looking for counseling, real quick, because I don't want to forget, it is DBT training and CBT training. Basically, it's dialectic behavior therapy and cognitive Cognitive Behavior Therapy, CBT. So if you are in the military, lucky you, because they have outpatient programs which go over DBT. So bam. And if you're not military and you're looking for a counselor, those are some questions to ask them. Hey, do you cover these too? Or yeah. Here's the class saying, treating BPD for many decades, most therapists view PPD as a virtually untreatable. That was like the first paragraph I read. I was like, I'm untreatable. I'm a mess. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, I read this and it was just amazing book. Please read it. So yeah, I read through it. I read all the way through it, and that's which I'm going to. Don't get me wrong. And then I hate you. Don't leave me. I think I told that to my friend, that exact sentence before about this book. So like I told you the symptoms, and I think what I'm going to do is a video on each of those subjects, because this is a video of plenty. Trust me. By the way, I almost forgot. I follow this one. I feel like she's the only one on YouTube. I might not be wrong, but she's like the best one I found on YouTube. It's called The Borderline Life. She has borderline personality disorder, and it was so crazy. There's some of her videos, I feel like she's talking about me, but she's using her name, which just blew my mind. Actually, she started following me today, which was a huge honor, because that's like basically why I started the channel, is because I was like, I saw hers and they're so awesome. I was like, why there are more people talking about this? Because everybody who has borderline personality disorder, we all have our different views, our own different opinions. It's all different. So like, but hers are so point on. Like she's alcohol, drugs. I was like, I did that. Her intense relationships, I was like, I did that. So yes, definitely check her out, The Borderline Life. But yeah, it's just with borderline personality, I hope I introduced it. But yeah, if you feel like you have it, just Google it, look at these symptoms. I just listed them to you, and if they fit in, talk to your therapist. And with borderline personality disorder too, you have to be very, very brutally honest to them. And it was hard because there's so many times like I saw my counselors who actually specialize in borderline personality disorder, and I was telling them, but I wasn't telling them everything, and they knew I wasn't telling them everything. So it's very important just to be honest, tell them what's going on, and they can help you. It is treatable. You won't have it forever. I guess, it's a personality disorder, but there's ways to cope. There's ways to handle situations, and I'm so much different from July to now when it comes to my borderline. I still have my episodes. I still have my depression, but the way I handle it now compared to the way I did 6 months ago, it's completely different. I mean, I'm 61 days sober now. I don't have a close relationship with anybody right now, which is extremely crazy to say. And I do find myself texting some people, and I see myself going into that cycle, but I know how to withdraw from it and set boundaries, which I didn't know how to do before. So that's my video. I did a video already on this subject, but it was very confusing because I watched it and I kind of went on a tangent about drinking more than the actual borderline. But yeah, borderline addiction and drinking and drug use is very common, so that's why it all ties in. So yeah, I think I made sense. I hope I made sense. If not, comment below, ask me any question you want. I am extremely honest when it comes to borderline personality and myself, so ask any question you want. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, comment below, tell me what you think. Confusing, straight to the point, not point to the point, whatever you want. Like, share, subscribe, and if you think somebody has borderline personality, show them this video. And my other videos are coming up. I'm not sure how much I'm going to post, but the next subject we're going to talk about is a shaky sense of identity. Literally, I can have a whole entire video on that, and that's one subject of 10. So just put that in your head. That's how crazy borderline personality is sometimes. But yeah, that's my video. Like, share, subscribe. Under the description box, I'm going to link The Borderline Life, her channel, so you guys can watch it. She has tons of videos, all relatable. And I'm also going to put my Snapchat, so if you guys want to DM me, because that's where it goes down. My Instagram, so you can see my pretty face, and everything else. All right, see y'all later. Bye. Bye.